Morning! And it's a windy, rainy Saturday morning, so I thought I'd have a closer look at the GS. Having noticed the other day the brake line being manipulated into a funny old shape, and I don't think the throttle cable was meant to go through the forks. Not sure. I thought I'd have a go at these handlebars off a guy at work. He wanted some Rentfuls, which I had spare, so I gave him them, and he gave me these, which I'm interested in fitting. That's the one thing that I find is letting the GS down for me, is just that fact that you are leant forward that bit. It's a beast of a bike, that's why it's called the Beast, obviously. Gorgeous comfortable seat and everything, but because of the stretch, and that is quite a long tank, because of the stretch down to these flat bars, I find that I'm too far forward on this, and there's an edge here somewhere. He says, not being able to find it. Excellent. I'm lying. Anyway, it's a little bit uncomfortable because I'm too far forward. The old nutsack suffers. And I don't want my nutsack suffering. So, remembering when I did a demo ride of both the Royal Enfield Continental, GT Continental, and the Interceptor, I much preferred the ride of the Interceptor because of its stance, and I think this will give me that stance. It is just the way the bars are swept back a bit on this, makes it a bit more like a chopper of some sort, but I'm gonna drop these ones down, put those ones on, and just give it a feel before I obviously go ahead and rip it all apart. So I'll get on with that then. Well, I think that feels a lot better, just raising it up. I mean, it's probably 4-inch raise, but yeah, definitely feels a lot better. So let's try and swap them over. Okay, so a bit of progress. Headlamps off to allow me access to the brake line. Also allows me a bit better access for the clutch cable, which at the moment goes down through that way, swerves across the top of the engine and comes out here. So I think that we'll have to reroute through here and come up somewhere else. I don't know yet. And the throttle cable with the height will have to, or will it? Or will it? Could raise that up. Oh, if anything, it might just need to come up above the indicator rather than below the indicator. Is that the same for the clutch? Is that the clutch? That's the clutch, isn't it? Yeah. No, probably not for the clutch. That might have to be rerouted this side of the headstock. So come out that side and route up and round. Yes. Yes. But still thinking it's all doable. Getting the grip off might be a pain, but as with all these projects, you go hammer and tong at them and then you realise all the bits you need, which in this case might be new grips. Obviously the throttle should be a piece of piss. It's just whether I can get that one off, and obviously, well, not obviously, but if I can't get that one off, then I need to get a matching pair to replace. Right, okay, let's start undoing the switch gear and everything. Yes, I think if I strip down this side and then put the other handlebars in, because I can slide the gear on, put the handlebars on, yeah, something like that. Let's try for that. Yes, I'm thinking that clutch cable's definitely got to go through the other way, and to execute that I've really got to take all the tank off. I think there's no way of winding it through otherwise. So move all my shit, take the tank off. Well, that's the clutch lever on, and as I say, I've fed it through this side. You saw me take the tank, well, not off, but loosened it up, and I've run the clutch cable now down through here, and then it runs here, this one here, and across the top of the engine, pretty much how it was before. If anything, that's got a bit more play in it. It was getting chewed the other side where it was a little bit tight. So yeah, as I say, it did run across the top of the engine anyway, but it ran down through there and straight across rather than up through here, and got the movement. It's not pulling it when I go lock to lock. I don't want to do that too much because the brake reservoir's hanging. So yeah, just adjust it up down here, and then see if I get a clutch back without it binding up, and then crack on with fitting the other bits. Between 5 and 10 mil play at the lever. So I'll lock this off here with a 12 mil spanner. So I'll lock that off, and then, oh, that was a 13. No wonder it's a little bit loose. Yeah, lock that off there, and then it gives me a good lever, and that's the play I've got, sort of, as I say, about 5-10 mil, and then I'll check it and I'll do the fine tuning up the top here. So now we want the electrics on there. Yeah, I might chop the edge off the handlebars. They're the width of the old ones. Yeah, the same width as the old ones, which have definitely been chopped off. But they just feel as though they're a lot wider. So it might be, I'll see how it feels when I've put the electrics and everything on. Might be a couple of, I'll say that again, might be that I cut, let's swap hands. It might be that I cut, I'll say about 3 inches of handlebar off either side. As I say, I'll fit it all the switch gear and everything first, get it set up, sit on it, and see if that's okay, or whether it's too far in, which lowers your leverage. It might be that I just prefer it right out, but once I put the bar ends on, well, as I say, it's going to be the same width as the other ones. Yeah, they're pretty much exactly the same. I might just take a couple of inches off of either end and then see how that is. But first of all, let's get that brake and throttle and everything set up. Well, I say let's. I'll do it, shall I? You stay there. You stay there. It's it has worked out quite fortunate that the guy who did that conversion didn't do a proper job and has left all the cables and everything standard length. Right, what came first, the chicken or the egg? Right, let's not make the mistake I made the other day and connect this wrong, which leaves all the butterflies open on the carb. Oh, let's put battery there first. Already getting it wrong. Through the housing. See, that's the wrong fitting for it. There's so many bits that are just not quite right, but it sort of gives it a bit of charm. Or am I just saying that so I don't feel as though I've got to change it all? Oh. Perhaps put it on the handlebar first. Rushing ahead and getting nowhere. Right, you go on there. Excellent. Now, I should have taken note when I took it apart, but oh, it's got to go through the thing. Slow down. What's happening here? That ain't right. It's bamboozling me. Here's the other bit. That will go on there. That will go on there like that. So that will be in there like that. And do that. Right, why am I making this so complicated? Right, that goes like that. And it still works because I can hear the butterflies going snap, snap. Yeah, that's definitely making the right noises. Now, have we got enough to go lock to lock? Yeah, no problem. It's not pulling on that, it's not pulling on the electrics, so that's all good. Well, it's all on there. Move that, that's just the bolts for the headlight. Let's do up the tank. bit of a different machine now. No, I've decided against it. I'm not going to cut anything off. I'll live with it for a while, and if it is that bad, I'll make adjustments at a later date. But at the moment, I'll live with it. Got to do something with this choke. Now the clutch cable is coming up through here. The bracket that the guy I bought it off fabricated is no longer any good. Unless I shape it to maybe come up to this one, be on the inside here. It might be a bit better. But yes, not cutting them down. So I'll make the adjustments, move the switch gear and everything back along, put the end stops on it and everything, and then end stops? Bar ends back on, and as I say, live with it for a while, and if I need to make further adjustments, I bloody well will, won't I? Anyway, get on with that. Okay, apart from putting the headlight back together, that's the handlebars done. Just need to fabricate a new bracket for the choke. That was the thing that was fabricated for it when I bought it. So I just need a neater one just to hold it by the ignition there. And then put the headlight back together. Marvellous! And then test ride it. Bloody weather needs to cheer up. Okay, definitely done now. I've taken that big ugly bracket off of there because the clutch cable was going to be messing with it, or it was going to mess with the clutch cable, so that had to go. So it's gone, been replaced by a little bracket over here, and everything seems to work all right. What we got? Horn, indicators, lights, choke, and so yes, adjust the throttle, it's all done. There you go. GS with bloody big handlebars. Now I've just got to ride it and see if I prefer it. But the stance at the moment, with me set up, that is quite nice. It does push me back a bit and lifts me up. Very nice. Good stance. Proof is in the pudding though, so when I next take it out, I might take you with me, if I remember. And we'll see how it is. Or I'll see how it is and I'll let you know. Till then, that's enough, innit? Ta-ra.